Plainfield Board of Education to order tonight, April 6th at 7 p.m. for the purposes of our superintendent search and possible appointment. I thank everyone for coming. This is our first in-person board meeting since I believe last March, with the exception of our budget meeting. It feels very great to be back, and great to be back for such a wonderful purpose this evening. Tonight, I'd like to introduce you after an extensive search that took place with the guidance of CES and the search committee from the board. We are ready to recommend a candidate for the appointment as our next superintendent for July 1st. It is my pleasure this evening to introduce Mr. Paul Brenton, who will be joining, we will be voting to make the appointment, who will be coming to us from his role as Assistant Superintendent with Killingly Public Schools. Mr. Brenton, would you please come up and introduce yourself this evening?
The podium?
That would be fine.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to start with fresh faces. First of all, I'd like to thank the Board of Ed members and Mr. DiPietro for the fantastic welcome here. For myself, I'm very excited. As I mentioned to the board members, Plainfield is something of a dream job for me. When I first came to Connecticut from Michigan, Eastern Connecticut was where I made my first friends. My first administrative job was in Putnam. I jumped at the opportunity to return to Killingly. I love the fact that we have a school system here that has administrators that went through the school system, has administrators whose family members were administrators in the system. And I couldn't be more excited to be joining the community. For myself, when I think about times to enter districts, there have been better times in history to come in and meet people and build relationships. And certainly I recognize that coming in during a pandemic poses a challenge. As I've talked to the board in the month of April, after the board's had a chance to review it, I'm going to be sharing with the community my entry plan, which will outline my initial ways for building relationships with members of the community, and will speak to those actions I will take through July 1st. I've actually left my entry plan a little open after July 1st, accounting for the fact that we have an ever-changing climate, and that some of the things that I would like to do after July 1st may change based on where things are. I'm very optimistic for the things that are happening now. However, I want to proceed with caution and ensure the community that all the steps that I take as I'm meeting people will be in accordance with the current protocols of the district. In closing, I would just like to say that as a former classroom teacher, I'm mostly excited to get back in the classrooms, to be able to see the students. I'm hoping to be able to visit the summer programs this summer. I'm hoping to be able to be in the community reading at the Discovery Bus. And I'm optimistic for a fantastic future. I know for years, Mr. DiPietro in the state has referred to this as a little engine that could. And I'm very excited to be joining such a strong team. And I look forward to listening and learning from you and moving forward together as a team. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, at this point, I will ask if there's any further questions amongst board members. All right, hearing none, I'd be looking for a motion to appoint Mr. Paul Brenton as the next superintendent of Plainfield Public Schools.
Okay. I would like to make a motion for the appointment of our new superintendent, moved in accordance with Section 10-157 of the Connecticut General Statutes, that the board appoint Paul Brenton as superintendent of schools, effective July 1st, 2021, and continuing through June 30th, 2024. And moved further that the board chairperson be authorized to finalize and execute the proposed employment contract with Paul Brenton on behalf of the board.
And I'll second that. Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Congratulations. With that, I would be looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'm going to look at Darren. I don't need this first.
Motion